tous les milieux sans distinction de progresser sur les plans scolaires et comportemental et de mieux s'intégrer dans la société. La chorale est composée ce soir de 90 enfants. Ils seront accompagnés par la mezzo-soprano Margot Toquet. Mesdames et mesdemoiselles, messieurs, je vous remercie de vous lever pour la Marseillaise.
The Stade de France in Paris in full voice. La Marseillaise rings round the National Stadium. Welcome to Paris for the 2019 Top 14 final. It's the one we all wanted, Toulouse and Clermont. Without doubt, the best two teams in France this season going head-to-head for the right to lift the Bouclier de Brenner. Similar stories this season, front runners almost throughout, but vastly different histories in this showpiece event. Toulouse, the most decorated club in French rugby, back in the final for the first time in 7 years, looking for a 20th title. And Clermont-Auvergne, champions as recently as 2 years ago, but looking for just their third Bouclier after lifting their first ever as recently as 2010. What scenes here at the Stade de France, the Rouge et Noir of Toulouse, the Yellow Army of Clermont-Auvergne. Alongside me for this one, Stuart Barnes. Stuart, what an atmosphere inside the National Stadium in Paris.
Rupert, I've been there for a French final. It is a special occasion, more than a game of rugby. This is a statement of what France is, a celebration of community. And if you've ever seen a game in the Auvergne or Toulouse, you will know exactly what I mean. The south of France, mid-France, will have moved up to be with Monsieur Macron for this occasion. It will be an epic evening of rugby.
Epic is the word as Monsieur President Emmanuel Macron makes his way down, followed by Bernard Laporte, the head of the French Rugby Federation, down onto the field. He will greet the players. There's Fritz Lee, the Clermont-Auvergne captain, born in Samoa, educated in Auckland, up against Jerome Kaino, born in American Samoa, educated in Auckland, leading these two teams here in the top 14 final in Paris here tonight.
Fritz Lee, almost unknown in New Zealand. Kaino, one of the most celebrated of all black forwards. Now Lee has his chance to take it out on Kaino. What a clash between these captains.
Bravo à tous les deux pour la saison en tout cas. Et à l'image de...
Quel Servat, l'ensemble du staff.
Bon, bravo pour cette saison.
Didier Lacroix alongside Emmanuel Macron there, the president of Stade Toulousain. 12 years as a played almost 400 games for Toulouse. And as we See the president greeting the teams. Let's give you the information on selection. They're unchanged from their semi-final last week. 2 World Cup winning All Blacks in the Toulouse forward pack. Number 8, Jerome Kino, and his good mate, tight head prop Charlie Faumuina, who packs down alongside 2 youngsters up front. Pietro Malvaca at hooker and Cyril Bai at loosehead prop. The Australian Richie Arnold has formed a solid partnership with the giant Joe Takori in the second row. South African import Reinhard Elstad and Toulouse Academy back rower Francois Cross will be tireless alongside Kino in the back row. Maxime Meydard is the only Toulouse survivor from the 2008 final against Clermont. He starts on the left wing with Johan Uge on the right. Antoine Dupont and Thomas Ramos again team up at 9 and 10. In the midfield, it's the New Zealand 7-star, Peter Arquet, alongside one of the real stars for Toulouse this season, Sofiane Guitoun. The back three of Meydard, Johan Uge, yet to win a top 14 final. And a man who's looked defenders look pretty silly all season long, Cheslin Colby, Blitzbox and Springbok star. He could cause Clermont some trouble. Toulouse replacement, Six Nations starter Roman Entamak covers the inside backs. To passing forward, Piula Fa'asalele will add power, and the Scotsman Richie Gray is an excellent line-out option.
Well, Dupont and Ramos, half-backs capable of sheer brilliance, but can they maintain the shape Toulouse need to dictate affairs? If there's a lack of control, expect Sébastien Bazet to enter the affairs early at 9, with the dangerous Dupont moving to 10.
François Cross.
Bonne finale, bon match.
Reinhard Elstad.
Vous allez bien? Très bien. Merci d'être là. Hein. C'est bien, il part tous français.
Ouais, bien sûr.
Merci beaucoup.
Richie Arnold. The future.
Bon match, bonne finale.
Joe Takori.
I guess it makes a break from Monsieur Macron talking about Brexit, doesn't it?
Bonne finale.
Sure, Joe Takori's views on that. There's Jerome Kino, the Toulouse skipper. What an addition he has been to this
Bravo pour la saison.
stout Toulousan team since making the move from New Zealand. 2-time World Cup winner, of course. 15 starts this season. They win 80% of their matches when Jerome Kino suits up. Emmanuel Macron will now say hello to the officials tonight. Pascal Garzer and Mathieu Reynel, they'll both be at the Rugby World Cup refereeing later this year. Romain Poit, not involved tonight, will also be there, but there's Jerome Garces introducing his fellow officials, refereeing his final match on French soil. He hangs up his whistle after the Rugby World Cup in Japan later this year.
Bon match à vous. Très bon match.
Well, Frank Azema, the Clermont head coach, thought he had the luxury of sticking with the same 23, but there's been a late change. Arthur Ituria was injured in the warm-up. He's been replaced by Judicial Cancourier. Fritz Lee is the captain at number 8. The front row is all about putting pressure on at scrum time. Young Etienne Falgu at loosehead plays in his first final. The hooker, Benjamin Kaiser, is retiring after this match. He's already won 3 top 14 titles at 2 different clubs, as well as an English premiership with Leicester. The tight head, Rabah Slimani, put on a scrummaging masterclass in the semi-final. He won the 2015 final for Stade Francais against Clermont. It's a mobile second row of Sitaleki Tamani and Sebastian Varmahina. And as we said, the back row of Fritz Lee, Alexandre Lapondry, and now Judicial Cancourier with Ituria dropping out. The Clermont backline can be razor sharp from set piece. Greg Laidlaw kicks 100% off the tee, and his link with fly half Camille Lopez continues to improve. Fofana and Moala are ideally balanced in the centres, but it's the back three that have been heaped with praise of late 22-year-old Damien Penaud, man of the match in the semi-final. Fiji-born Aliboreti Raka simply does things no one else can on a rugby field. And the 33-year-old Iceman, Isaiah Toiava, playing some of the best rugby of his long career. There's Camille Lopez, alongside Greg Laidlaw, with a word for the French president as well. The replacements, impact, look no further than Petheli Yato for Clermont. He leads the team in most of the stats that count. And the great Georgian front rower, David Zidakishvili, plays in this fixture for a 4th time, and he's the only Clermont survivor from the 2008 final against Toulouse.
Well, impact off the bench all right for Clermont, but also huge impact in that scrum. Slimani, a title winner with Stade Francais, was the destructive force in the semi-final victory over Lyon. Repeat dominance would give Clermont the chance to dominate territory, and with it, the scoreboard.
Oliveretti Raka, George Moala, Damien Penaud. What live wires they are in the outside back contingent for Clermont-Auvergne. Young Charlie Cassac, 24-year-old. There's Paul Jadraziak. He had to get changed pretty late after the Arthur Ituria injury in the warm-up, so what a day it's been for him. Thought he was travelling as the 24th man, and here he is suiting up. There's Lonnie Uhila, the Tom and Bear Super Rugby winner with the Hurricanes a couple of years ago, alongside John Alugia. New Zealand born, moved to Australia as a teenager. Here he is in a top 14 final in Paris. And David Zidakishvili, club legend. His 4th final. And Petheli Yato, Fijian born. We saw the Fijian 7th side do that to Princess Anne at the Rio Olympic Games in 2016. There's another one, Apasai Naka Levu, playing his respects to the French president. And Tim Nanai-Williams, who covers Clermont in the fly half position these days. The final Clermont player to shake hands with the president. Almost set to go. Jerome Garces in charge for the 2019 top 14 final. Well, Stuart, Toulouse were 15 points clear after 26 rounds of the regular season. They won 21 games, only lost 3 all campaign. How important are those numbers in this final, if at all?
Irrelevant. I think Clermont made a flying start. By Christmas, they were almost home and hosed for a semi-final. They plotted their way to the Challenge Cup victory against La Rochelle. When they had to play Lyon in the key game, the semi-final, they were ready for them. This is a one-off match. Toulouse are a team that have had a wonderful season, but can they, under pressure, find the highest class of game? When they played Leinster in the European semi-final, they were squeezed. Clermont, they've always had their Champions Cup problems, but they have looked really strong all season. No European Champions Cup to divert them. They have been focused on this for 9 or more months.
We're almost set to go. Toulouse and Clermont. Top 14 final. The 120th French Rugby Championship final is underway. The dream final in French rugby's theatre of dreams. Antoine Dupont, formerly of Castres, now with Toulouse. Early penalty to Clermont, and both forwards come together early on. Big volume here, Stuart, inside the Stade de France tonight.
It wouldn't be a French final if the two packs didn't square up in the first 30 seconds, Rupert. Just a suffocating atmosphere, and that's key as well. And you wonder, Toulouse, brilliant players, the importance for Jerome Kaino with all that experience and keeping them calm. Clermont, they've been here so many times, they've lost a few of them, but they're a far more experienced club team now. Get the early penalty, and Laidlaw, who has been metronomic with the boot, and I think, as Will said in the build-up, You know, if this comes to a kick-off and it's about penalties from scrums, then he becomes the central player in this drama.
Kicking over 87% off the tee this season. This for his 197th point this season. Greg Laidlaw 100% in the semi-final, and he started as he finished off last week.
Well, in that semi-final against Lyon, he didn't just kick everything. He bisected the post every single time, and that first kick there, it doesn't look hard, but believe me, if you're playing in front of 70,000 plus people, there's real pressure, and it's straight through the middle.
Thomas Ramos restarts play. Here's George Mawala, formerly of the Blues and Super Rugby. Here in a top 14 final in his first season in France. There's Fritz Lee, took over as captain. Morgan Parrott injured in that European Challenge Cup final in Newcastle. He took the reins of this team since then. The Morgan Parrott unavailable means Greg Laidlaw at scrum half came on in that game and saw them home. Cheslin Colby climbs high at the back for Toulouse. Charlie Falmoina, Ramos. Long pass to Maxime Maydar. Chips over the top of Isaiah Toiava, former All Black. Deals with that one.
Such a good kick from Maydar. The weight on it, forcing Toiava to play it. And Clermont have done really well in adversity here.
Kaiser drops it just in front of his own try line. Charlie Falmoina realises the importance of that mistake from Clermont.
Did you see the line speed there of Toulouse? Phenomenal. Clermont were just trying to buy themselves 2 or 3 metres, set up a drive. They were expecting Toulouse to just wait for them, but Toulouse came at them and just dislodged that ball. Big pressure there on Kaiser. And a great opportunity. Here's Medard off the left foot. He does those little things so well. He's such a clever player. When he's confined, lack of space, he does so much so right. Had a very good season, Medard.
Already a 3-time winner of the top 14. A couple of Heineken Cup titles into the mix as well for Maxime Maydar. He's the only Toulouse player in the 23 today who's a player that appeared in that 2008 final. Back in French contention as well for the Rugby World Cup this year. Jacques Brunel got him back in the fold and in the Six Nations.
He's had a tremendous season. Now, central to this game, will it be the scrum? Dominant against Lyon. Broke their opposition. Can Toulouse give their scrum half Dupont the right sort of ball?
Front rows collapse. Rava Slimani on the tight head side here for Clermont Auvergne. It was a masterclass from him last week. He forced 6 penalties at scrum time against Lyon in the semi-final. They also conceded a yellow card and a free kick from the pressure they were under in this part of the game. So if Slimani gets the rub of the green again here in the final from Jerome Garces, he could cause Toulouse some problems as well.
And even if it's not penalties, if Dupont is having to play going backwards, that will make him so much less effective. You know, scrum halves are rendered half the player they are on the front foot when they're going backwards, and he is a key man for Toulouse. So this scrum central for Clermont.
Dupont feeds it again. Cyril Bay collapsing on the loose head side under the pressure of Slimani for Toulouse. Dupont sets up a breakdown. 7 metres out. Can Toulouse make something of this? Here's Richie Arnold. They've got a penalty, the Rouge et Noir.
What Garces is doing very early on in this final. They've gone cross kick.
In the direction of Alu Baretti. Raka deals with it for now and kicks it clear. That could have been very dangerous for Clermont. Here's Cheslin Colby. the best player in transition in the top 14 this season. Reinhard Elster. South African born with a heavy carry. Ramos to Guitoun. Francois Cross. Well tackled by Lopez. Here's Ramos. Slightly high was Sitaleki to Mane. Dupont works the short side, but they're over the sideline.
Well, one has to say, Thomas Ramos there, French final, 3-0 down, penalty under the post after good pressure. Surely you take the points there. It wasn't even a great kick. I mean, that's a stone-cold 3 points. And look at this kick. If you're going to do that and you're not going to take the guaranteed 3 points, boy, you better get that crossfield kick right. Real reprieve for Clermont there.
It was meant for Johan Uge.
Captain.
Out on that right wing for Toulouse. Benjamin Kaiser throws the line out to Tamani. Kaiser retiring from professional rugby at the end of this final.
Stock ball, they go to Timani at the front. Don't need to do anything except just get a nice steady defensive wall for Laidlaw to just put the box kick up, and that's a poor kick.
Hasn't gone far enough. It's into the hands of Jerome Kino. Ramos. Guitoun into the 22. Quick ball for Dupont. Ramos again. Uge. Well tackled by George Moala.
That was a hell of a tackle there from Moala. Toulouse are going back now, and this time there. Well, it was interesting. Will they go to the corner, or will Jerome Kino use all that all-black experience and say, guys, let's get level?
Yeah. Ouais, c'est juste, je t'attendais écouter le ballon.
Decide to go for post this time.
I don't think he decided.
Thomas Ramos, he might have been thinking about another cross kick. He's a sharpshooter as well. Over 80% off the tee. He's got 245 points in the top 14 this season. Saw him at fullback for France in the Six Nations earlier in the year.
Well, he's lightning quick, isn't he? And in a broken field, he uses that ability, that change of pace so well. Can he control things from 10 central? With Holmes out today, he is a man under huge pressure to perform.
Missed 3 off the tee in the semi-final, but he starts well here. Straight and true from Ramos. It's 3-all in the top 14 final.
Lots of territory for Toulouse there. There was a wonderful tackle from Moala, but we go back for the penalty, and this time 3 points.
Zach Holmes, as you mentioned, looking on. Uge claims it at the restart under the attentions of Sebastian Valmahina.
Non, dedans, dedans. Dedans, les gars, Mathieu.
Look at Paytel on Vaca. Carry there.
Non.
Young 22-year-old has really shot to prominence for Toulouse this season. Dupont. Box kick off the base. He was in his own 22, so that'll go straight out over the sideline for a Clermont throw.
Well, Toulouse affected that clearance an awful lot better than Clermont did their last one when they had that 3-man sort of caterpillar. Laidlaw's ball went up. There's Arthur Aturia. Saw him earlier. He was in tears now. Stony face, just willing his team on to victory.
Yeah, it looked like a lower back, sciatica or upper hamstring sort of injury. Cancourier starts ahead of him, Jadraziak onto the bench. Here's Fritzley, the Clermont captain, with a heavy carry. Ran through Ramos, Lopez, Toiaba to Raka. Oliveretti Raka, now a French citizen in that France World Cup extended training squad. Lopez. Offload into the hands of Ramos. 2 knock-ons, it'll be a Clermont feed to the scrum.
Bahamaina, for a giant of a man, loves to offload, and so often he gets it wrong. You'll think back to his pass against Wales when he threw a shocker that was intercepted. That was never on there, and in the end it's a knock-on from Ramos. But I think Clermont want to get their heavy-duty runners into Toulouse. We saw it with Raka, we saw it with Fritzley going through the fly half. Don't think at the moment they need clever little offloads. They want to get the big power men going.
Both semi-finals were played in Bordeaux last weekend. Toulouse beat La Rochelle 20-6. Clermont secured their place 33-13 over Lyon.
Very interesting alignment there from the scrum. Lopez got two men behind him. The theory is that Toulouse can't work out which way Clermont are going. Then there's a late change one way.
Good platform for Laidlaw, still inching forward. The Clermont front eight. Here's Lopez. The Toriava steps off his right foot, offloads to Wesley Fofana. Fritz Lee carries it forward. Laidlaw again to Lopez. Slimani. Shooting out of the line for Toulouse was Francois Cross. Cami Lopez can't get past Kaino. Advantage coming Clermont's way. Ball's been stripped. But that's a straight-arm penalty to Clermont-Auvergne. In a very kickable position. They come right into this final now.
Wow, that was direct, that was dangerous. Terrific stuff. Toriava, the balance for the big man. He steps so well, and you'll see Fofana's ability to just know when to come short so he can take that ball. Brilliant attacking play from Clermont there. Chilling if you're a Toulouse fan. Heartwarming if you're from the Auvergne. Laidlaw, he is not going to go for a cross kick for Raka there. Scotsman knows the value of every point, Rupert.
Absolutely. They went down early in the semi-final last week, didn't they, against Lyon? With the Liam Gill try, but they kept taking their points when they were on offer. Greg Laidlaw looking for his 20th successful kick in a row in the top 14, and with Morgan Parra injured, looking on from the sidelines. He liked the look of that.
Just watch Toriava, there's the step, brilliant. But my point, just on his right, Fofana gets so tight so quickly, and he rolls with those tackles. That's why he has been one of France's great players in the last decade.
And a mistake off the restart from Thomas Ramos. You talk, Stuart, about that ability to manage a game, especially of this magnitude. A couple of errors early on from Ramos.
Fly half is not about being super fast. It's not about having tricks up your sleeve. It is about putting your team in the right place and controlling a game. And in the course of 80 minutes, you might think, OK, he's put that one out on the full. But his team have just gone 6-3 down. Instead of putting pressure on Clermont, he's handed the ball and the initiative back to them.
Hugo Moller, head coach. Clermont Poitrenaud, the skills coach. With Toulouse at the moment, Reggie Son, co-head coach with Hugo Moller. They'll have a reset here. Big power coming on from these two front rows. You got the vast experience of Kaiser and Slimani up front for Clermont, alongside the 26-year-old Etienne Falgout on the loose head side for Toulouse. Charlie Faumuina, World Cup winner, 50 tests for the All Blacks, but a couple of developing players to his left. Peto Malvaca, 22-year-old hooker, and Cyril Bay, just 25 out of the Toulouse Academy on the loose head side for Toulouse.
He's been around a while, Cyril Bay, hasn't he? And he's very important today.
Laidlaw feeds it.
Use it now.
Lopez. Toriava again. It's meant for Raka. Damian Penaud has had to track back. He sees some space and kicks across field. Does Penaud. So that attack not quite going the way that Isaiah Toriava and Clermont wanted, but Damian Penaud is such an impressive rugby player, isn't he?
Yeah, Toiava puts a pass into nowhere though, but Penno really, he got his team out of jail. There was a touch of the Elliot Daly there, just a ball going backwards and you think he's in trouble here, but he had the vision and the skill to put a kick into space. And okay, they're back where they started, but they've got the ball again and Toulouse haven't hurt them.
Roman Entermac on the sideline there, on this replacements bench for Toulouse this afternoon. Here's Cancourier, late change for Ituria in the 6 shirt for Clermont. Tamani, 18-time capped Wallaby. Short ball to Varmahina, and he's been well and truly sent packing by Reinhard Elstad. Forces the penalty as well. And that sort of defence is what you want in the big show. And another kickable opportunity for Toulouse to tie this one up.
Fantastic play there from Reinhardt. The South African has been absolutely brilliant. Elstad all season has just done the doggy stuff brilliantly.
Speak very quickly.
Mahina coming onto that as fast as he can, and he goes back even quicker.
So speak with him. Yeah.
Jerome Kaino, he knows that. He's straight up to his back row mates. The bench are clapping. That's a big hit.
Elstad out of Western Province, and the Stormers in Cape Town won a Currie Cup with Province in 2014. Originally came over as a medical joker. A couple of years ago, he's their top tackler. Over 250 this season.
Nothing funny about that tackle. Mahina rocked backwards.
So Ramos, successful with his first attempt, and with his second, no problem either. 6-all in the battle for the bouclier.
That's got to be the most substantial moment of the game so far for Toulouse. They've had their periods with the ball in hand, but they rocked Clermont and their big carriers backwards. They're brilliant from Elstad.
Dupont. Antoine Dupont bursting through for Toulouse. Right up to the halfway line, finds the offload. Here's Kaino now. What a breakout from the Toulouse scrum half. Here he is again. Ramos. Medar. Sees some space in behind Raka. Has he judged that one to perfection?
Brilliant play. Medar, such a clever player, such vision. And as for Dupont, well, there's no other scrum half in Europe who has the combination of speed and strength. Gareth Davis is very quick, but this guy is another level. There's still elements to his game that aren't perfect, but boy, is he packed with potential. What a break that was, and what a lovely piece of play. A kick there from Medard, just to turn the heat on Clermont.
Tamani with the line-out take. Jerome Garces, referee, just tells the Toulouse player to leave it alone. Greg Laidlaw just requesting the presence of another couple of big Clermont forwards to give him a bit of extra protection. Fritz Lee obliges the captain. Doesn't find touch. Colby's onto it, but Rucker is onto him.
Well, that's one for Greg Laidlaw. His first box kick from the other side of the field was a poor one. No distance on it. This one gave Raka a chance to get his hands on Colby, and there's only one winner if it's a man-on-man there. And the Fijian, just the former Fijian, now Frenchman, ushers him into touch. Is that right now to call him a former Fijian? I know his blood and all that. But...
yeah, well, he's now a French citizen.
Yep.
Liberty Rucker expected to be going to the World Cup with France later this year. Yeah, Fiji born, but now a French citizen, married to a French woman, and he's decided he wants to play for France. Chances are he's going to.
Hey, France in the World Cup is a great balance if they end up with Penno and Raka on their wings. Tough on Uge, who's playing England and Argentina. We'll be watching this game. There's a lot of Frenchmen will be playing in French colours in that tournament. Nothing held back today, though. Club is everything. The country, the World Cup, that can wait for another day. Everything, the rugby universe is condensed into this stadium this evening.
So a couple of shots on the sideline there, the two scrum coaches, video best, but Clermont and Williams serve that for Toulouse, but it's Clermont who get the straight arm penalty at the scrum this time. Charlie Falmuina walks away, he can't believe it.
That growly old bear, Williams Servat, one of the canniest hookers in the last 20 years of French rugby. He'll be disappointed. That is the first blood, if you like, to Clermont in the scrum. And Lopez gets an easy chance to take 20 metres.
Yeah, it's clear.
Charlie Falmuina went very long there, under pressure from Etienne Falgu.
That's one for Falgu, isn't it? The youngster. He made his test debut here at the Stade de France in the Six Nations against Scotland earlier in the year. His rucker for Clermont. Oliveretti rucker breaks a couple of tackles, and Uge's followed him all the way over from that far side to make the tackle. Fritz Lee. Brought down by Francois Cross. Laidlaw goes the same way to Lopez. Fofana can't get past Falmuina. Looks like Guitoun might have picked up a head knock, slow to get up off the field. Here's Lopez, shovels it across, but will go back for crossing.
Disappointment from the Clermont perspective there. They were just starting to put together some continuity. And it gives Maxime Medard, already seen the value of that left boot of his, an opportunity to kick his team some distance downfield. Actually comes from the fact that Lopez did in the semi-final. He can get quite lateral, and what's happened is players have just overrun him. They weren't expecting him to hold the ball, get themselves in that offside position. No option for Jerome Garces there.
So 23 minutes in. Toulouse and Clermont tied at 6 apiece. Attacking line out for Toulouse. They throw to the front. Won by Richie Arnold. Here's Kino hitting it up in midfield. Brave tackle from Camille Lopez.
Turnover.
Turnover Clermont. Here come Legenard Laidlaw. Forward pass into the hands of Alexandre Lapondry.
Lapondry was clapping. He was demanding that ball from Laidlaw, and Laidlaw gave it. The flanker never got himself back in a position really to take that pass, and that's a disappointment for the men from the Auvergne. You can see off the right hand that goes forward.
Clermont fans don't like it, needless to say.
One of those if only moments.
Usually Fofana getting some attention here. Clermont centre. Blood from the left eye. Here's Richie Arnold. Bit of work on the back. Born in Wagga Wagga on the Murrumbidgee River in southern New South Wales. Another famous second row. Played his rugby and coaches now in France. Nathan Hines, born in Wagga Wagga.
Listen, Arnold has been really good this year. I look at Australia and I watch their second rows playing Super Rugby, and I think of Arnold and I think of Will Skelton at Saracens. And you think Michael Checker is thinking, I've got to get these men back. I've got to get them back.
Well, his brother Rory's announced he's heading to the top 14 next season, so that's another one that's got to wait.
It's not just the money, you know, for the Southern Hemisphere boys. I mean, Super Rugby is an amazing thing, but when you go to a New Zealand camp and you talk to them about European Cup finals and top 14 finals and Premiership finals, they're not used to anything like that in terms of atmosphere. They watch this and love it.
It looked like they came out the same tunnel there, but we play on. Dupont reacting quickly. Here's Peter Arquis. Arnold, heavy tackle coming in on him from Kankuria. Here's Joe Takori now, playing his 13th season in the top 14. Elstat, Dupont, so dangerous around the base to Maydar. Maxime Maydar steals another couple of inches. Here's Malvaca at scrum half. Elstat again. Dupont to Kino. Laidlaw giving up a bit of size on the Toulouse captain. Completes the tackle though. Moina thinks of the pick and go, leaves it behind for Malvaca.
Clermont doing well. They're not at the moment putting too many into the breakdown, so they're keeping this great big yellow line stretched across the field.
There's Kino once more. Sakori. Knock on in the tackle from Clermont. So it'll be a Toulouse scrum. Lucky break there for Toulouse. Really tough defensive work from Clermont, but it's Toulouse will set up another scrum here in a good attacking position.
Very different to the Toulouse we've seen for much of this season, in the sense that we're not seeing the ambitious offloads at the moment. We're seeing them pick and drive and just carry it on. People like Takore and Kroos and Elstat, they're trying to muscle meters out of Clermont. Peter de Villiers on your left there, looking resplendent in his shirt. Well, he would look good on his shirt there. Very stylish team, aren't they? They might not be the best in France, but Stade Francais, they look good.
Contested the first ever French Championship final way back in 1892 against the Racing Club.
It's fair to say the game for a long time gravitated south from there, though, didn't it? And two big Parisian clubs now, but the spiritual heart of France remains. Well, in the south of France, in Clermont in the last decade, they've come back from the sort of middle region and just added this satellite of just sensational rugby.
Still looking for our first try in this final. 6 each, 2 penalties to Greg Laidlaw. Likewise for Thomas Ramos. Toulouse is happy to slow this down. Says, final match as a referee on French soil. He'll be heading to the World Cup before he hangs up the whistle.
Very good man, Jerome Garces. Spent some good hours with him. 2017 Lions Tour of New Zealand. Great company, outstanding referee.
Dupont waiting for the scrum to settle. It doesn't. It's a free kick. Toulouse, and Dupont will go quickly. Brought down by his opposite number, Laidlaw. Here's Kino with yet another carry for Toulouse. Farmahina goes in for the turnover, doesn't win it. Farmahina now. Dupont to Ramos, chance for Cheslin Colby, Uge, Toulouse are in! First try of the 2019 final to the Rouge et Noir.
Well, they've had a lot of territory, and in the end, Clermont just finally got narrowed up, and Colby is so quick, he just draws players to him. Again, the scrum half, Dupont, his quick tap just disorganises them. It's a 2-on-2 then, and I'm afraid that Clermont are scared to death of leaving that man Colby to go. Steps up the left wing there, Raka opens the field to Uge. Very hard, because how do you just let that man Colby run? In theory, Raka should have stayed out. It was their best chance. The moment he took one step, 1 metre in field, that was the try for Uge.
And it all came from the free kick at the scrum, awarded to Toulouse, and Antoine Dupont forcing the issue, given the opportunity.
Yeah, he's been very good, hasn't he? He's a real threat with the ball in hand. Dupont, very incisive in the first 30 minutes.
Thomas Ramos looking for his third successful kick of the final, and it'll just slide by the right hand upright. Remains 11-6 to Toulouse as we approach 30 minutes.
Into your picture now, that's the moment. Raka comes out of shot into the central focus. Azema knows it, the organisation of the defence disappears, and Toulouse have first blood.
Benjamin Kaiser with possession for Clermont. Can they respond? Slimani through the hands to Mawala, George Mawala. He offloads back to Toiava, but that's gone forward again. Perhaps that 50-50 ball should have held on.
Yeah, see, Clermont are trying to get those 50-50 ball away. You notice Toulouse in that last concerted period of attack. As I said, they were holding on to it. Massive occasion, lots of nerves, hang on to the ball. Clermont are just forcing the issue.
Damien Penaud now getting some attention from the trainer. We saw Wesley Fofana down earlier.
Super restart, brilliant chase from Penaud. Collides with his man and goes down very awkwardly. Moala just busts through two. There's nothing wrong with the pop pass, you know, it's just not a very good one, as we see. Yato, come on.
Yato called upon early here, replacing Alex Lapondry. Head to the sideline into the dressing rooms, but Yato unlucky not to start this final given the season he has had. He has been brilliant for Clermont in the top 14, leading ball carrier, leading turnovers.
I just think, Rupert, it's not to do with the fact he's not in the best 15. It's just how he fits into the Clermont game plan, the explosive nature of his game. They wanted to use him for the last half hour. I'm not certain whether Frank Azima's right. And with 50 minutes to go, he could prove a very dangerous threat.
Jerome Kino cleverly uses referee Garces there as a bit of protection. Bursting away here is Sofiane Guitoun into Dupont. That's gone forward. Fofana to Cancourier. Slimani, and here's the first carry from Yato. Lopez. Fritz Lee. Valmahina up to the 22. One quick ball, Clermont. They've got it for Fofana. Toiava bumps off fellow New Zealander Peter Arki. Here's Kaiser. Lopez again. Penaud's recovered. He's back on his feet. Flings it back to Toiava. He'll look for Rucker. Can't get the hands free. Penaud. Nice quick ball to Cancourier. Kicked on by Laidlaw. Got to be careful here to lose. That was Sofiane Guitoun just getting back.
Needed to get there. Rucker gave him a right old going over there. All legitimate. Toulouse crowd are whistling upset. Guitoun is down. Garces says it's nothing. Great hands there. Laidlaw. He's claiming he's taken out after he hacks the ball through by the South African fullback Colby. He's racing for the ball on the try line.
Clever kick ahead from Laidlaw, wasn't it?
Well, in fact, he has tackled him. He's got an arm over him, then the second one comes. If you look at that, he has stopped him playing and carrying on.
C'est complètement accidentel.
Hugo Moller can see the funny side of it. Sofiane Guitoun's back on his feet.
I don't think it helped. Laidlaw made quite a meal of it, didn't he?
End product is 22 drop out to Toulouse. Thomas Ramos will get us back underway. 32 minutes in. Toulouse leading Clermont 11-6. The Johan Uge try the difference. Lopez finds touch.
That's a very good return for Ramos and Toulouse there. And that was slack from Clermont. That ball went 50 metres, hit the grass, and Azema should be disappointed. His team were a little bit slow there. By the time Lopez kicked it, he's in his own 22.
Intercepted by Clermont Auvergne. Here's Fritz Lee running clear. He's got Yato with him, can't get it away. He gets it to Cancourier. Referee from Jerome Garces. Cheslin Colby could be in a spot of bother here.
Stay with me here. Non. Voilà, on va juste regarder. Eric, pour moi, le 15.
Saying off the ball.
Découpé. Un joueur, le plaqué, it's fine, ok. Je veux le revoir.
Holding on, I think, is the accusation on Colby. Was this a professional foul? If it was, he could be going to the sideline.
Non. Ça, c'est jeu.
Fritz Lee does brilliantly.
Ok.
Colby takes his man out off the ball, I think. There, he's tackled him there. He's taken the man out off the ball, there's no doubt about it. I think he was lucky to get away with the Laidlaw challenge. That one there, he's coming from full back and he's ensured there cannot be an offload.
Come with me.
I wondered if Jerome Garces might have let play go on there and see what happened.
He was, the ball went forward. There was a
knock-on. Okay.
There had been a knock-on as Can Courier knocked it on, and that ensured we had to go back.
Okay, it's clear. It's a yellow card. So calm down.
Just one question. Is it a foul play?
It's a yellow card. He tackled the man.
Avoid us to score the try.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Only the top 14. The captains don't have to learn French. The French referee has to learn English.
Laidlaw will step up with Cheslin Colby sitting down for 10 minutes. Not much argument about that decision. Maybe Fritz Lee had a point. Without that intervention from Cheslin Colby, might it have been a try-scoring chance for Clermont-Auvergne?
Well, it might, but there was no probability, and there has to be a probability. So you've got to go through a few more likelihoods there than Lee could. There's no way you could say that's a try if not for that intervention. So, you know, there's no doubt there. Look, he's taken out Yato, but there's nothing to say there's definitely going to be a score there. There's an opportunity. Of that, there's no doubt. It's cynical, but I think it's the right decision from Garces.
Greg Laidlaw kicks his third penalty of the match to take Clermont up to 9. So 2-point game.
Interesting, Rupert, as well. 15 v 14. They didn't think let's go for the jugular, put it in the corner. They just said 3 points, then let's start again with the extra man. Get it down there, Cammy. No messing around. No ball to the forwards, just boot it.
Interesting that Lopez responds in kind and finds touch as well, despite the fact they're enjoying a one-player advantage here.
One player or not, I don't think Clermont want to start messing around in their own 22 against this Toulouse team. You don't get turned over by Dupont and company, that's when you suffer. They've got to keep their structure and just try and get the right part of the field to use that extra man.
So Toulouse playing without a fullback in their line-out. Self-destructs on their own throw. It's gone forward. It'll be a Clermont scrum. So a good challenge in the air from Lejeunard.
That's really good from Clermont there. They're getting men up. Fahar Mahina doesn't win the ball, but he gets back there and he puts massive pressure on Kano, and the ball is knocked forward.
Bernard Guta in the centre shot there, former Perpignan back rower. Part of this coaching setup.
Flexion.
He was an assistant with Azima when Perpignan won the top 14 in 2009 under Jacques Brunel. Powerful scrum from Toulouse. Ball's out. Greg Laidlaw under the attentions there of Reinhard Elstadt. Kino wants the turnover decision here, doesn't get it.
On your feet.
Lopez goes in to help out at scrum half. There's Bafeli Yato.
Could have been a fraction quicker there, Laidlaw. Exploited there by Elstadt.
Stay back.
That's how he likes it. Slow, long line, caterpillar. Time to put that kick up. That's not a good one.
It over the top to Ramos, who's popped back into the pocket with Colby in the sin bin. Here's Uge, try scorer in this first half. Johan Uge. 58 caps for France. He's never won a top 14. 7 years since Toulouse have been
Non, restez. Restez, non, deux. Je vous le dirai,
in the
non.
top 14 final. Dupont, he kicks it high. Doesn't go quite as far as he would have hoped, but Uge jumps high and wins it.
Another turnover.
Good work on the floor again from Clermont. Can they make something happen in transition? Here's Moala. Excellent tackle from Peter Arquis. Most recently of Connaught in the Pro 14, his first season for Toulouse. He came up with an important play there, because that was danger signs with a man down on the back line.
Yet again, Clermont losing ball that they should be carrying with more strength. Great defence from Toulouse though. Mola's men really muscling up, standing up at the moment, a man down, but they're making the hits.
No, it's fine. Stay on your feet.
Jerome Kane just having a little word to Jerome Garces there. Here's the tackle from Arquis.
Textbook there. Starts at the thighs, come down around the ankles. Arquis, he's not going anywhere. He goes down so quickly in the tackle, there's no chance of the offload. Here's the knock on, it's Fritz Lee. Cyril Bay comes in and does a tremendous initial job.
Really good defence from Toulouse, just what you want for the player in the sin. But initially, Peter Arquis' wife, Kayla, was playing for the women's Barbarians against the Red Rose at Twickenham a couple of weekends ago.
Does she tackle like Cyril Bay?
She came on late as a replacement.
What Bay did there, he was in exactly the right position. You want your prop forward, you want your front rowers around the fringes, not getting exposed one-on-one, but just picking off the heavy traffic. And that was a tremendous hit there on Lee, one of the key carriers in Clermont's side.
So into the final 90 seconds of this first half. Toulouse leading Clermont 11-9. Cheslin Colby in the sin bin. Power comes on from the Clermont front eight, and here's Yato picking it up and running all over Sofiane Gatun.
That was Clermont, the scrum and Yato.
Shocking pass from Lopez to the feet of Fofana. Peter Arquis was onto it.
Well, there was the good and bad of Clermont. We know they've got this scrum. We know that in people like Yato, they've got this fantastic carrying game. But the passing, the offloading, the accuracy is poor. Guitoun barreled through there. And then Cabi Lopez, he's been indecisive a little bit. And that's a poor pass. But Wes Fofana is actually just drifting off the pass. He's not running straight onto it.
He had a little look, didn't he, Wesley Fofana, at the oncoming line speed from Toulouse.
One thing now as we approach half-time, Clermont have to just make sure they're getting 2 points down, no more than that. Any score for Toulouse with 14 men would be such a psychological fillip.
The drums start up again here. Big contingent supporting both of these teams here. Clermont made the trip up from the centre of France. Toulouse from the Pink City. They've come in their numbers to support their team. And it is tight in the French Championship showpiece.
It's the first half that's simmered. It hasn't quite exploded into life, but there's been enough big hits, moments of mesmeric running to suggest that the second half could yet be something special.
Clock's in the red. This is the final play of the first half. Antoine Dupont, he's been lively as ever. Takes it off the base, they'll play. Here's Gatun, little in and away from him. Taken care of by Raka. Stolen by George Moala. Clermont will look to counter. Fofana now. Haven't played much rugby in their own half. And Lopez, yeah, he'll bang it over the sideline. Happy to go into the sheds. 2 points down, Clermont-Auvergne. It's tense, it's tight. in the top 14 final 2019. The only difference is the try to Yoann Huget in the right-hand corner, set up by Colby. Toulouse lead it at the break.
Adieu. Ok. Ballon. Nico, il n'y a pas de ballon. Il n'y a pas de ramasseur de balle surtout. Non. Il n'y a pas de ballon, les gars.
So Toulouse leading Clermont-Auvergne at half-time in the 2019 final. Bernard Laporte sending a couple of quick messages ahead of this second half. Yoann Huget with the only try of the match so far. A nervy first half, it's got to be said, from Clermont-Auvergne.
Well, I think if Bernard Laporte was still coach and he was running the Clermont team, he said, let's just concentrate on keeping ball. We've got the power, we've got the dynamism.
Sorry?
Toulouse, they have been a little calmer, I think, in the game. And I'd agree with the boys in the studio. I think they've been the better team. But 11-9 up, they haven't really turned that superiority into points.
Thomas Ramos gets us back underway. Toulouse leading Clermont 11-9. Cheslin Colby back shortly after his yellow card in the 32nd minutes. Lopez kicks deep. And that's a skillfully taken high ball from Dupont. Hands it off to Ramos, who kicks and chases. Chance here for Lopez to claim the catch. Tamani. Fofana. It's almost over the shoulder of Lee, shoveled along by Toriava. Penaud kicks ahead, and there's Dupont again, who's shifted back into the fullback position with Colby on the bench. He's done brilliantly again, Antoine Dupont.
He couldn't kick there because it touched his hand, but he used his pace down that narrow side. Brilliant.
And he jumps into scrum half. Bullet-like pass to Ramos. He kicks it down the throat of Toriava.
Stay!
Ramos. He finds touch, a round of applause in the Stade de France, as if to say, yep, let's play some rugby.
Yeah, very good kick there from Ramos. Takes it low. Here's Dupont. Little step there. Penaud is quick, but this guy is so fast over 5 meters, and he's so strong as well. And when he's dancing near the touchline, he knows to apply the brakes and just turn it infield. Very mature so far, the French scrum half.
Yeah, 14 caps already. For France, age just 22, made the move from Castres a couple of seasons ago. Had that terrible injury in the 2018 Six Nations. He's fought his way back, and he looks back to his best. It's been a carry from Clermont, but if Toulouse turned this over, they have. Joe Takori, biggest scrum half in the world, picks and goes. Ramos goes in to run up Elstad. His defence was a key element of the first 40. Charlie Falmouina, all 140 kilograms. Picks and goes from the base. Dupont, all eyes, gives it off to Cyril Barr. Switches play now, back to Arnold. Going into the turnover is Sitalepi Tamani, doesn't win it. Kaino. Next lifted by Kaiser. Cyril Barr again.
The difference, Toulouse are just picking and driving. Clermont didn't do this in the first half, far more patient.
Nalvaka. Defense that time, Clermont. Sofiane Gatoun, now there on his haunches. Kick from here, under the attentions of Fritz Lee. Toriava back from full back, but it's been won by Huget, and he offloads to Arnold. Ball's gone forward in the tackle.
That was a splendid kick there. Uge scored one try, could have created another there. He won the ball first of all and then lost it forward. As we see Colvin come back. Brilliant kick from the scrum half. Terry Arthur beaten by the big right winger.
No, it's fine.
And I think he's got a point there. Uge just saying, Mahina smacked me. No attempt to put the arms around. Was that a tackle or a hit?
It's okay.
Yoann Uge is back in French contention. Appeared in the Six Nations this year. Tore his ACL in the last World Cup in 2015. He'll be hoping he can stay fit throughout this calendar year. The world looks to Japan.
Uge had something of a nightmare, didn't he, in Paris against Wales on the first Friday of the tournament, but he is a very fine player.
It's the 5th time these two French giants have met on the final day. It's the most played final of the professional era, but Toulouse have won all 4 so far. Most recently in 2008. Richie Gray, the Scotsman,
Flexion.
out there for the other Richie Arnold. Straight arm penalty at the scrum for Clermont. That's what they want. That's what they got in the semi-final last week against Lyon. They can pick up some easy meters here from that kind of decision up front. That'll help their cause.
Lopez, scrum penalty the first half, didn't go very far. And again, there's a lack of ambition in his kicking. There's a lack of conviction in his game at the moment, I think.
Mahina, won by Tamani at the front, bobbled though. Coming through was Francois Cross, and Toulouse have it. So the line-out malfunctioning from Clermont. And that scrum penalty comes to nothing. Here's Arki, thinks about a short ball to Colby, but holds on. Dupont through the hands of Cyril Bay. Here's Kaino picking up the scraps for Toulouse. Ramos dinks it over the top. Raka just has to watch that one bounce at his feet over the sideline.
There was a little bit of a jeer from the Toulouse fans there, but that's not bad play from Raka, because he takes that ball. He has got absolutely nowhere to go. In the last second, he just thinks, no, hang on, let it go. We get the throw-in. Although the line-out is a real battle at the moment. Both line-outs are putting pressure on when it's not their throat, making it very hard for the hookers.
Kaiser playing in his last professional game of rugby. Already a 3-time champion in the top 14. Hands it off to Laidlaw, who again kicks off the base. That's been their modus operandi most of this game, Clermont, but again, don't make much yardage. Zima never shows too much emotion. The head coach on the sideline, Didier Bess as well.
Well, the half-backs are just not putting Clermont in the right parts of the field. Their kicking lacks depth. With Laidlaw and Lopez.
Malvaka throws to Richie Gray. British and Irish line, of course, came on in that 3rd test in 2013 against Australia. And they get their catch and drive going. Kaino has it under control. His good mate Charlie Faumuina joins in. Elstat and Uge even off his wing. Breaks up slightly. Finally sacked by Clermont. So Toulouse will have to play. Francois Cross out of the Toulouse Academy. Malvaka, born in New Caledonia. Good carry from him. Gray. Lopez with the tackle on him. Advantage coming. Ramos with a bit of a free hit. Cross kick for Uge. Yoann Uge just goes over the sideline. They'll go back.
final like this of narrow margins, one would assume that Ramos will point to the posts without Jerome kind of needed to tell him what is required here.
Just seem to be winning the physical battle at the moment, Toulouse. Stewart up front with the carries, the pick and goes, just everything seems to be being done with a bit more assertion.
Well, they're a little bit more accurate, so they know what they're doing. And the kicking game, the other thing about that is the kicking game from Toulouse is a lot better than the one that Clermont are coming up with. So the Clermont chasers aren't really being given a great license to get after the ball.
Well, the Toulouse fans have occupied this end that Thomas Ramos is kicking to here. 2 from 3, just missed the wide-out conversion. Couple of penalties before that. Ramos bangs it straight, bangs it true, and Toulouse extend their lead.
Well, Clermont, let's put it this way, realise they don't want to go through the hands in their own 22, but one of their problems is they're not at the moment able to kick their way out. So they're finding themselves bogged down in the last third of the field, and Toulouse are happy to keep the ball. Zirikashvili has come on there, the great man of Georgia and the Auvergne.
He's replaced Lamani. Cheslin Colby almost went all the way over. He was lifted there for that restart take. It's gone forward.
That's a good kick. That's a really good kick. I don't think Lopez has been at his best, but he gave his team every opportunity there.
Charlie Farmer-Wien has been replaced by South African born Max van Dijk.
Penno wins it with his right hand. You can see the lift on Colby there. The lift is a Toulouse one. Nothing wrong there at all. Brilliant kick from the fly half.
Benjamin Kaiser sits down, retiring at the conclusion of this match. We're not going to say that's the last we've seen of him, because in the top 14 you can come back on for an injury. It all gets a bit like interchange towards the end of these French League matches this season, so we may see Kaiser reappear. Here's Lopez, short ball for Penno. Offloads back to Lopez off the floor. Katoon just trying to get in the passing lane there. Zirikashvili. Etienne Falgu. Jean Alugia, replacement hooker. Lopez, flat pass to Fofana, shifts it quickly, but Maydar read it well. Bit of afters over there on the far side. I think it's Pefeli Yato involved with Max van Dijk in the 23 shirt for Toulouse.
It's a big lad, Max van Dijk, but I would suggest he keeps away. Yato fired up.
The pressure? Sorry, man. Okay, come now. What number? 13 black and after offside. Okay.
So the original penalty is for Sofiane Katoon being offside. There he is in shot.
Jamais remis en jeu un noir. Yeah.
The penalty was given well before then. Maydar, who was not offside, read the situation well. And there Van Dijk just giving Yato a little bit of a shove.
So Laidlaw, 3 from 3 so far. It's 100% in the semi-final, just as he did when he came off the bench on the Challenge Cup final at St James's Park. Pickable position again in the direction of the Yellow Army. So closed up to a 2-point game once again. Some of the Clermont reserved, unused players looking on.
Injured players as well, Nico Bendenen amongst them.
prise de jeu.
Penno, he's brilliantly tackled by Archie there. Archie's lassoing style has been very effective today. Sliding down, hacks his man, really good.
Toulouse go long off the restart. Once more, Cyril Bayer, the latest Toulouse player to be replaced by Clermont Castet. Here's Kiancoria. He was a late replacement to start this match. After Arturia was injured in the warm-up. Lopez gets a wobbly old kick away. It's down the throat of Maxime Maida. Maida puts the hammer down, has support. But how's that for a tackle from Isaiah Toiava?
The lights almost went out for Thomas Ramos there, but wow, that was brilliant from Maida. He's had such an intelligent game. He's brilliant in a 5-metre space. He just works the opportunity, and Toiava, that is what you call a definitive tackle.
Not out of jail yet, Clermont. Defensive line-out's been turned over by Toulouse. Here's Dupont. Antoine Dupont. 1 metre out. Clermont going for the turnover. It's Yato. Ball's over the line. Jerome Garces is having a closer look. We might go upstairs here.
Pascal, moi je vois jamais le ballon en contact avec le sol. Eric, vidéo. Je vois jamais le ballon en contact avec le sol. Est-ce que tu as une image qui montrerait le contraire? Donc peux-tu me donner raison? Essai oui ou non? Ouais.
Very hard to see from this angle. No camera's going to have a better view there than Jerome Garces. What about this overhead?
Watch the 18 shirt, Yato. Who went in for the turnover. Then it was snaffled back by a Toulouse player, wasn't it? That's the hooker, Malvaca.
Eric.
Try or no try is the
Eric,
question.
à partir du moment où on a utilisé tous les angles possibles, moi d'ici je ne vois jamais le ballon en contact avec l'en-but. Donc pour moi ça sera pas essai mais la 5 noire. Est-ce que tu es d'accord? Ok. Scrum.
No clear evidence, good refereeing. But Clermont bringing the pressure on themselves, a litany of errors. Lopez and his kicking problems from deep, and a line-out that is malfunctioning at the moment. Put the two of those together, and Toulouse almost scored a sensational try.
Etienne Falgu replaced by Lonnie Uhila.
Good scrum, guys.
They've just got to get themselves out the wrong part of the field. That's the Clermont problem at the moment. And Toulouse, they're in the right part. They have to turn this possession and territory into points. This is their moment, I think.
Big blindside for Antoine Dupont to work with. One of the best running scrum halves in rugby. What can he make of this? Kino at number 8. Front rows up. Two-time World Cup winner Kino picks it up off the base. They've got the penalty advantage, Toulouse. Max van Dijk.
Well, Clermont would take 3 here. They'd take 3.
Quick hands from Kino, shoved on by Ramos. Is Maida, Gitoun, Colby. Uge's got 2. Toulouse extend their lead in the 2019 final.
Tremendous pass in there. Finally, we see some of the glittering back play from Toulouse that has lit up this French season. Men committed. Great time on the passer. South African jumps to take the ball. Brilliant play. Archie Colby, and the men and women from the Pink City are delighted. Azema, he'll know his team have brought that on themselves, and Toulouse had the score. Sweet hand in there. There's been, from Clermont, passes behind the shoulder today when it mattered for Toulouse. That was sweet. In front of the man, drew the defenders. Brilliant finish by Uge.
And Jerome Kino with a little tap on. The ball was loose. They had a decision coming their way. And here's Ramos.
Big kick, 7-9.
Ramos, straight through the middle. Toulouse lead Clermont by 21 points to 12.
Lovely piece of play there from Ramos. Guitoun, Meda involved, Aki to the full-back Colby, and then Uge just finishing it off. Through the back line, brilliant score.
Colby, one of the lightest players in this Toulouse team, again lifted off the restart there by Reinhard Elstadt.
Yeah, very clever, isn't it? He's a short man, but you could throw him a mile in the air, and he's got great hands.
Six. Back.
So Toulouse in control. Remember, it's their first final for 7 years. Going for a 20th all-time bouclier. They stand alone as the most decorated club in French rugby history. 5th time they've played Clermont in a final. They've won the previous 4. Clermont need to get a wriggle on. Lopez kicks off that left foot again. What an acrobatic, skillful take from Colby. Van Dijk, was that a late tackle? Here's Francois Cross. Paul Jadrzasiak, who didn't even think he was going to be playing today. Late replacement after the Aturia injury. He's out there for Tamani. Ramos winning the kicking game at the moment against this man Lopez. Toiava. Sofiane Guitoun just kicks that across to Colby, and he finds some green space in behind Toiava. Clermont fullback finds touch, but Toulouse will go quickly. It's Thomas Ramos. Hands it off to big Richie Gray. Clermont have the turnover. Uhila, the Tongan bear, offloads to Yato. Varmahina involved. Here's Toiava. Good tackle from Joe Takori. Lopez. Moala. Over the halfway line. Laidlaw. Kankoria on the boil. Takori in danger of getting offside there. Short ball to John Alugia. Good break from the replacement hooker. Lopez, chance on the far side for Clermont. Here's Rucker, Oliveretti Rucker. What a tackle that is. Had to be made. It was Francois Cross. Fritz Lee now. Zirakashvili. Helped out by Jadrzasiak. Lopez, Fofana shows and goes. Wesley Fofana. Still going. Laidlaw. Here's the Tongan bear. Counter up from Arquis. Loose ball. Will go back to the offside call.
It's a long time since Clermont have really played at pace there. They got the territory. Gone back there, some brilliant defending there. Kroos's tackle on Raka, superb. Brilliant line as well. A brilliant line there. Lopez picked out his reserve hooker.
Joe Takori getting some treatment. What a warhorse he has been for Clermont de Berne originally joined Castres back in 2007. He played 129 games for them.
I thought he was coming to the end of his career when he left Castres. He joined Toulouse and he's better than ever.
Out of Wesley College in South Auckland.
Big call, isn't it? 21-12. Clermont very patient, backing themselves, not worried about the 9-point deficit. Looking to get 3, looking to get within the converted try of victory.
Laidlaw, not known for his long-distance kicks, but he makes very good contact. And they needed that, didn't they, Clermont? 21-15. Legionnaires starting to sizzle.
And that was a superlative strike again from Laidlaw. You know, I don't think in open play he and Lopez have given Clermont what they might need, but his goal kicking is immaculate.
Bula face à Lele. Off the bench for Toulouse.
It's another hard carrying force.
Sébastien Bézi off the bench as well. Maxime Maydar. Looks like he's heading to the sideline. I'm not sure he's too happy about it, but what a reception he's getting. Already won 3 top 14 titles.
Surprising if he's not injured, and he did look as if he was wondering at the decision, because he's managed things really well at the back for Toulouse, in a back 3 that have controlled everything that Clermont have kicked at them.
Celebasio Tolofua also off the bench. He replaces Jerome Kino. That's the confirmation that Bézi's out there for Maydar. So Sebastian Bézi, normally an inside back, replacing a winger. So we'll have to see how Toulouse shape up here. There is Bézi. He goes in at scrum half. So about Dupont shifting out. Here's Arquet. Physical carry from him. Nanai Williams has replaced Liberetti Rucker for Clermont. Ramos.
Go back for penalty. 30 seconds or so ago. Clermont going off their feet at the breakdown. Easy opportunity for Toulouse to boot this ball downfield again. Was he signalling for goal there, Ramos?
He was definitely pointing somewhere. Kick to the sideline. Good field position though for Toulouse.
Dupont, he has been very impressive today. Laidlaw's kicked all the points for his team, but Dupont undoubtedly has been the classier number as a scrum half.
And he looks comfortable, doesn't he, wherever he pops up on the field, whether he's taking high kicks in a wing or fullback position. Just looks completely at home.
Yeah, I mean, he did some brilliant things for France, some bad things as well, but he's developing as an international. He is a high-class player for the future. At this level, it's the now. He's been brilliant today.
Catch and drive from Toulouse. Making good yardage here, Bézi. Arquet. Shows and goes, but Lopez doesn't buy it. They go the same way. Ramos to Colby. So dangerous, Cheslin Colby. There's the offload. Inside back to Bézi. Toulouse, 4 metres out. They're looking for their third try. Uge already with a double. Shooting out of the line was Bahamahina. Nice footwork from Tolofua. Castet. Bézi works the short side. Arquet. Colby picks it up off the bounce. Such quick feet, the Springbok. They go to the big heavy artillery once more. Yato with the tackle. Here's Francois Cross. John Alugia took care of him. Flat pass to Gitoon. That's gone forward. Hugo Moller saying take the 3 if it's on offer.
Je sais pas. Qui est le capitaine chez nous? Là sur la ligne.
Been a long wait for Toulouse fans. They're used to winning titles. This kick's over. They're 9 points clear again, and we're getting close to the last 15 minutes. Ramos, who has switched to the back 3. Ned off. Colby can shift to the wing. He can play full back. He's played for France. Versatility and class in the back line.
Well, the Rouge et Noir faithful are enjoying this final right now. This kick to make it a 2-score game.
Clermont just have not got going so far. Toulouse worthy of a 9-point lead. But they do have match winners all over the place. It's not done and dusted by a long way.
Thomas Ramos from right in front. Some of these replacement forwards for Toulouse getting stuck in, and Fritz Lee trying to lift his team right under pressure now as we see the introduction of Apisai Nakalevu.
Getting stuck in but going off their feet is not helping the cause. Another tremendous restart. They've done that really well.
Nakalevu with his first intervention. He's out there for Fofana. Here's Toriava, floated across the top to Moala. George Moala into the 22. Gitoon gets him eventually. Alugia. Lopez. Yato. He's stopped by Francois Cross, taken over the captaincy with Jerome Kano's substitution. It's Nakalevu. Lopez again. Toiava. Toulouse defence has been exemplary all afternoon. Laidlaw, Lopez. Nakalevu tries the inside pass. Is there a knock-on in all that in there?
It's all a little too lateral coming off Cami Lopez there. He's just not square, he's not standing up the midfield.
Charlie Cassang given an opportunity as Greg Laidlaw heads to the sideline.
Well, he's kicked all the goals, Laidlaw, but I guess at the moment Clermont are thinking, hey, we need more than 3-pointers now. We need tries, and Laidlaw, he's been an anchor in the sense that his goal kicking has kept them safe and in this game, but he's also an anchor in that they cannot get the move on. Cassang quicker. There's the score again.
The last round was really good.
Supreme South African Anuja.
Yeah. Okay.
Aki, Colby, Anuja for a second.
Johan Anuja, he had 7 tries for the season coming into this game. He's now got 9 with that double, and that could well be the difference in this final. Still over 12 minutes to go. 24-15, Toulouse lead Clermont. Sebastian Basie in at scrum half. Max Van Dijk helped out by Fa'asalele. There's Richie Gray. What a thrill it would be for him. He can close this out with Toulouse. Box kick. Toiava spilt it.
Andy and Will were talking about the game line battle and how there's no doubt at all that was Toulouse's in the first half. Well, the aerial battle has belonged very much to them in this second half as well. Their kickers have been better. Net result, their chasers have had more opportunity and they put more pressure on.
Yeah, back to last week in the semi-final. Toiava was almost perfect under the high ball. If anything, it's the men in yellow that have suffered a bit of stage fright in this final so far.
Yeah, well, Toulouse have stripped back their game a little bit. They have been fantastic defensively, they have kicked intelligently, and they've taken their chances when they came, but they haven't been over-ambitious. Clermont in the first half offloaded when it wasn't on, haven't been able to find a rhythm.
Approaching the final 10 minutes of the 2019 Top 14 final. Toulouse leading Clermont 24-15. Good scrum coming on from the Clermont front eight. They want a decision there. They don't get it. We'll have a reset.
And Toulouse will be delighted to take 30 seconds out.
Okay, donc
Trying to cross there, more than Paris. Some of the other non-playing Clermont players look on, concerned faces with the Clermont contingent.
Clock top left now, starting to tick these long scrum resets as we get towards the last 10 minutes.
Power comes on again from Clermont. They get the penalty this time.
Now this one from Lopez has to go down to the corner. He can't mess around with a safe 15-20 metre kick. He has to go for broke here.
Lopez kicks to the sideline. Perhaps not as audacious as you might have hoped, Barnsley.
No, well, what you want there, you need a right-footed kicker really for the angle. Lopez has got himself turned, and he's determined not to miss touch, and that is not what they needed. It was a wonderful scrum.
Varmahina, acrobatic take in the line out. Here's Nanai Williams. Kassak in at scrum half for Laidlaw, trying to put some pace on the game. Cancourier. Lopez inside ball back to Nanai Williams as he lost that one in contact. Just holds on.
It was close, you're right.
Jadraziak with the carry there. Here's Uhila, puts his hand up. Advantage coming Clermont's way. Kassak. Nakalevu. Ball in one hand. Asaleli disrupts it. They'll go back for the decision. Clock's counting down, 8.5 minutes. 9-point game. What do you do here?
You take 3. It's plenty of time.
That's exactly the message that has gone on.
There's plenty of time, but what Lopez must do now is, try and nail this thing in about 30 seconds, not a minute, because every second counts, and you can see it. Look at Lopez now. He's really rushed this preparation. He's bang in front of the post. It's 3 points.
It's only his 10th shot at goal all season. Hasn't done much goal kicking from that sort of range, though. Makes no mistake. We're back to a one-score game in the top 14 final.
Well, Clermont have been very much the second team, but you look at their bench and the likes of Kassan coming on, Nanai Williams, Nakalevu, Yato, they have a bench here. Toulouse, the better team for 70 minutes. Can they just hold on now for 8 more?
Ramos kicks long once again. Fritz Lee, Clermont captain. Up to the 22. Back to Lopez. And back on that left foot, high up to the halfway line. Here's Dupont, playing as a winger now. Back to Ramos, offload to the double try scorer Uge. Lonnie Uhila thought that ball was out. It wasn't. We play on through Castet. Basie. Dupont at fly half.
Brilliant, Nakalevu. Just read that superbly.
That's the turnover they wanted. Here's Kassang down the short side to Toiava. 6.5 to go. Clermont trail Toulouse by 6. Here's Nakalevu. Wild pass over the top of absolutely everybody. And Ugo Moller helps it along its way.
Not the most sportive piece of play there from Moller as he just chucks the ball away. That was a wonderful tackle by Nakalevu, but the pass was as bad as the tackle and the read was good. Again, nobody picking straight lines and just fixing a target for Clermont. They get very lateral very early as Fofana about to come back on.
Richie Gray, all 6'9" of them, wins it in the middle of a line-out for Toulouse. His catch and drive, especially in this second half, has worked well for the Rouge et Noir. But it's been turned over just as I say that. It was a maul. So Clermont, as the clock approaches the final 5 minutes, win back possession.
Five minutes to go. I still wonder if Clermont will be thinking, let's get a penalty first. If they do, maybe they should look at someone like Tim Nanai-Williams and his right foot to kick that ball.
So Fofana's out there for Moala. Yohan Uge, he's gone to the bench, and Max Maydar's back out there. So starting winger for starting winger, and Peter Aki has been replaced by young 20-year-old Roman Ntamak for his first appearance of the match.
Well, one fresh player coming onto the field. It's like a carousel, isn't it? You pay your money, you have your ride, off you go. 20 minutes later, you're back on.
Well, there is a new rule in substitutions in the top 14 just for this season. You're allowed 4 extra substitution for an injured player, even if you've been substituted tactically earlier on. So it becomes a bit of a revolving door late in these games, and that's what we've seen here in the final.
One of my French journalist friends has a word for it: anarchy. Just do what you want.
We've had enough of that in Paris in recent times, Barnsley.
Yellow shirts.
Kassang feeds the scrum. Clermont trail by 6. Lopez, Fofana, Nanai-Williams. Offloads to Penaud. He's brought down by Colby. Gancourier. Chopped down by Faasalele. Here's Nanai-Williams again down the short side to Penaud. Ball's gone forward.
You just think last week against Lyon, there was such rhythm in their play. Everyone's tense, head shaking. There's been no structure in the way they played, and here, off the left hand, that's clearly forward again.
It's just been a bit lateral, hasn't it, from Clermont-Auvergne tonight. Last week, they were much more direct in the semi-final against Lyon, but you've got to give credit to this Toulouse defence.
Oh yeah, Toulouse have won the gain line, but they haven't asked the questions, they haven't held them. Think back to the Uge try, how the battering power of the Toulouse forwards fixed their men. Just haven't seen that from Clermont. French director giving us a portrait of some very pained Clermont faces at the moment.
Cyril Baille, the starting loose head. He returns for Clermont Castet.
Does Williams serve that on the field?
I'm not sure that's allowed. Williams serve that. Winner as a player of the Bouclier de Brennes in Toulouse. If they can close this out, he'll do it as a coach too, but another powerful scrum from Clermont. Picked up by Toulouse, older brother Christopher. He's announced he's leaving Saracens to head to Toulon in the top 14. 3 minutes to go in the final.
No, leave it now!
Lugia, heavy contact for Clermont. Basie to Dupont. Flat kick intended that way. Here's Toiava. He's got Nanai Williams with him. Tim Nanai Williams. Held up. Trying to shove him over the sideline was Dupont. Vahamahina. Uhila. Lopez. Fofana inside to Fritz Lee. Over the halfway line. Toiava at scrum half to Vahamahina. Short ball. It's gone forward again off Clermont. Time and time again, this Toulouse defence has forced the error. Toulouse player taken out in back play. Toiava fields it for Clermont, and he's off to the races. Needs to stay in field. Almost intercepted by Guitoun.
I think it's fair to say there was a collision then as Toulouse came forward. Ankles clicked. Molo just pointed out to Jérôme Garcés.
Sofiane Guitoun didn't quite have the soft enough hands to take that intercept.
But he was clearly trying for the intercept. That's why it's not a penalty for the knock-on.
Aurélien Rougerie, Mr. Clermont, part of the Clermont side that won in 2017, shortly before his retirement.
A few magical moments for Rougerie. A few very painful ones in Europe as well at the moment. This looks like it's going into the giant Clermont book of disappointment. It's a huge tome.
We're in the final minute. Clermont need a converted try. Scrum's been a mess throughout this final. Clermont perhaps not getting as many decisions there as they would have liked. Toiava. Counter up from Colby, Cheslin Colby. That's not in his job description, but that's an important play deep in this match from the Toulouse fullback. Tolofua, 20 seconds to go. All Toulouse need to do is just hold on to possession to see this one out.
The maverick man, Colby, came up with the magic moment.
And here he is again, Cheslin Colby. Sees some space this time. Drops a gear. Little knock on the floor. Is there time for a scrum? Clock's in the red.
It was 58 seconds, 79:58 on the clock when Garcés blew.
Surely not. Surely not from here. Clermont with the feet to the scrum.
Well, they haven't looked like scoring a try for 79 minutes and 58 seconds, have they? It would be a mountain man mugging if Clermont were to nick this one. It's hard to see them doing it because they just haven't played with any fluency. One more set of defensive tackles from Toulouse should do it.
Pressure comes on from Toulouse. Cassang to Lopez. Penaud, Damien Penaud, man of the match last week. Hardly any chances here this afternoon. Ball's gone loose. There's the final whistle. Toulouse players embrace. They are back on top in the top 14. Their 20th French league title. The Bouclier de Brennes is heading back to the Pink City.
It was a mature performance from Toulouse. They were powerful defensively. Their kicking game was good. They took their opportunities. They nullified Clermont's scrum to a great extent. As for Clermont, this has to go down yet again as a bitterly disappointing 80-minute final effort from them. They were too lateral, their kicking game was poor, they didn't put the pace on the game, they made errors. No doubt at all, Toulouse, the team that finished top of the regular season, were undoubtedly, when it mattered most, the top team in France today. Moller's done a great job. From the depths of near the bottom of the top 14 to the very top of the French game, a fantastic effort from Mola and the men like Bouillou, like Poitrenaud, like Servat. Toulouse is a club where the players give so much and the supporters, they're giving with them now. A wonderful night for Poitrenaud, Servat and all of Toulouse.
What a turnaround it has been for the Rouge et Noir. They were 12th 2 seasons ago. And here they are, back at the summit of the top 14. Their 20th French league title, the most decorated club in French league history, and there is confirmation. Their first win for 7 years. 2012, the last time they did it back-to-back. They went after the 2011 win as well, and 2008 when they beat Clermont the last time these two teams met here in the top 4.